My name is Martin Cranford. I'm an AMSOIL dealer in Bentley, Kansas, and I'm into restoring hot rods. I purchased the van about 10 years ago, found it in the back of a chicken coop across town. I had always liked the old fat-fendered Ford trucks and had never really seen a van before, and it caught my eye and I thought it'd be something cool to fix up. I thought it was going to be a very easy project at first. When I first picked it up, the body looked fairly straight and it had been painted yellow. The more I got into it, I found out how bad the rust and cancer was above the wheel wells and in the back. This was a much bigger undertaking than I ever would have imagined. It got really discouraging because it ended up adding 4 or 5 years to the project. There were a few points where I was ready to throw in the towel, and I even contemplated selling it. My wife and family actually a couple times talked me out of it. They always came through and said, "No, we want to see you finish it," and I'm glad they did. It did teach me some patience as far as I had to work side jobs to buy the materials and the tooling. The front half of it is nothing more than a truck. So you can buy pieces for the front half, but the van part of it, nobody makes anything for them. So that's where I had to make my own floor panels and rust patch panels. I had to learn to do all of the suspension work and the metal work. And it was basically a learning experience building a vehicle piece by piece. My 15-year-old son has been helping me out for a few years working on them. I converted this thing over to rear disc brakes, and he came out and helped me bleed the brakes and get everything set up just right. The younger two are just now starting to get into it, especially my youngest one. He's wanting to do his own oil change. He's 9 years old, so he's wanting to get out and do oil changes. And the goal is to try to incorporate them as much as possible. So I've had to learn to kind of step back and try not to interfere. That way they can learn for themselves.
Some of the things that I've learned from doing this project with my dad is patience. Lots of patience. We've had this thing for, 11 years now? We've been working on it, and we've done so much work to it. I like spending time with my dad because he has a lot of skills to pass on.
My wife and I both believe that they need to know how to work on vehicles, and even if they don't become mechanics, it teaches you to think and work with your hands. So it's still a good trait no matter what they do. After I had owned it for a few years, it dawned on me that the truck was a 1948 and my mother was born in '48. She died in 1998. So from there on, it kind of became a memorial build, if you would. It's mostly complete. It's mostly where I want it to be. I've still got interior work to do. I may end up putting a little more horsepower into it, but right now the main thing I'm looking at is the interior, make it a family outing vehicle. Devin, my 15-year-old son, and I went on Hot Rod Power Tour, and it's a week-long road trip. You drive to a new destination every day, meet new people and talk about each other's cars. Friday night they have a cruise spot in Wichita, so usually every Friday night I'll take 1 or 2 of the boys and we'll go cruising. The wife and I go cruising Douglas sometimes. It's a big cruise spot they do once a month in Wichita. So that's kind of a date night where we'll go cruising Douglas, and it's just fun to go cruise around in an old truck. I have to say thank you to my wife, Angie. It was very humbling and heartwarming that my family did rally behind me and say, "We're not going to let you sell it, you need to finish it."
Always stick with what you're going to do because it may turn out this awesome. Because look at it.
My name is Martin Cranford. I'm an AMSOIL dealer in Bentley, Kansas, and I'm into restoring hot rods.